The HOA, Homeowners Association. Are they beneficial or the absolute worst form of government? Is it anti-American? We're going to talk about it today. Let's do it. Welcome back, my friend. Homeowners associations.
Some of my favorite subjects.
It is. It is great. It is. Turns out, it is a pretty sensitive topic for most Americans.
As we can tell from the comments section.
We actually cut a video that went in our world viral, almost a million views.
Yeah.
And, it was about an angry Karen measuring the grass, and the good old Jayco
came
in and did a little stunner action. But I digress.
Heard a little bit.
Well, to open up our reaction, what better way than to... And this one right here is probably going to lack audio. But we recently found this video on the internet. It's been making its rounds. And
I think I've seen this one before. I'm not sure.
I may have. Get a little good start here.
HOA.
Third time Karen has stopped to look at the grass. And believe it or not, this video, a lot of people out there wondering if it's real or not.
Yes.
Strangely enough. I thought the fake security footage.
I thought the guy with a bald cap on.
How often is J. Cole, Stone Cold, Steve Austin running through a neighborhood?
Yeah, you know what? Like, that wouldn't, key off that maybe that was fake.
Oh.
Or the fact that it was a complete dummy.
Or somehow Karen lost all legs. like if we go back, let's just take a little bit.
Right there.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So if that wasn't a dead giveaway.
A lot of comments.
A lot.
Here's what I'll say. A lot of people talk about people on the internet and like, oh, they're idiots. They couldn't tell this. It was clearly intent to be satire.
Yeah.
I will say this. I had close friends and family members ask me if that was real. And I was like, it wasn't October 31st. I normally don't dress in a Stone Cold outfit.
Maybe it's just the awesome editing skills.
It could be the production quality. It's probably the production quality. It's pretty phenomenal.
The MMA dummy that lacked arms and the fact that there's a bullseye.
Pause. The child's MMA dummy that I had to carry.
Oh, man. So, but regardless, what we learned from this video to set the tone is that apparently HOA is a sensitive topic.
It is a problem.
There's over 1,000 comments on this.
There were quite a few
back
comments
and forth on this.
A lot of them were like, I've had this person do this. They've all got a story.
So it led us into this video where we're going to go into. So here we're going to start, and this one is classic Kieran, and we'll appreciate this one. So we have a very good Samaritan here, which goes around and cuts people's yards that need it for free.
Okay. Because I was I had some comments before you said that, so I'll just go ahead and shut up.
We'll let it play. I've for your viewing pleasure, have accelerated this, but here's our guy here.
So he just goes to other people's and just does it for free.
That's right.
What the are you doing mowing their lawn?
Excuse me?
Yeah, why are you in their yard mowing their lawn?
Yeah.
It's not even her lawn. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
I had neighbors call.
She said, what are you doing mowing their lawn?
Right.
So it's not even hers.
It's not even her.
Okay.
Just here we go. The big reveal.
Sorry.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I had neighbors call and talk about they needed help.
They get a ton of help. They always have handouts. People come mow their lawn. They got 2 lawnmowers sitting over here.
Look, I do this stuff for free for the community.
Come mow my lawn. Nobody ever comes to my house.
That's the issue.
Entitlement of this lady.
Here we go.
I never get handouts. I sit over there and work all the time, and I have a baby on the way. I don't ever get anything.
Where's your husband?
Not around.
Boom.
Boom.
Roasted.
Your husband.
Where's your husband?
Well, what's her response?
Is that yard right over there yours?
Yep, that house right there.
With all the trash in the yard?
Yep.
You need the trash picked up too?
Yeah.
Chicken? Is that a word?
Congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
I'll come check it out, but I can't do it today.
Okay.
It's almost dark.
Yeah, I understand that.
This is like a
Your
standoff
husband
thing.
or boyfriend or whoever's on the care, are they?
No,
He
there's
just
no
said he's going to come over and cut her yard. Right. So that was her big problem, that she comes over here and obviously upset that
That they were getting handouts. They have lawnmowers, and they needed help, so obviously they couldn't do it.
Yep.
And she had an issue with someone else getting help.
No father figure, no anybody to cut her. I think a better approach would be just like, hey,
Hey, if you got
a second,
and I'll bring you a cold drink or water, whatever you need.
6-pack,
Whatever.
I could use the help. That may be a better approach.
Like I would. The guy put a
Same.
cape on that
Superman
dude.
over there.
Literally, he goes, "I'll come do yours too."
Yeah.
After this harassment.
The fact that he doesn't get irritated in this is the best part about it. But he does. I love his little.
Where's your husband?
With an attitude like that, I'm surprised. Putting Karen in his place. All right, we'll move on to the next video. And if you search the internet, these are a dime a dozen. They're everything, and I have experienced it too. You find a nice body of water, and if you like to fish like I do, you're interested in what's in there. Problem is, HOAs do not like that. That's,
Is this private property?
well, we're about to find out. So this
Okay.
is Karen in the HOA versus a fisherman. Now,
Okay. For the record, I think we've almost outdone Karen. Like we need to.
so well, there's a lot of Karens in
Okay,
HOAs.
yeah.
I'm just, they are usually heading these up. That being said, I also understand that there is a level of disrespect and trespassing that is around. So let's watch this video and see kind of what your thoughts are.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm on the sidewalk.
No, here. You know why? Because
That is a
a
side.
lot of times the fly hits the top of the canvas boat.
Oh, I completely understand. It's not against the rules, though.
All right, so
So he knows the rules.
apparently he does. He's trespassing. But this lady comes up and makes a very valid point. I, too, am a boat owner. And especially with fly fishing, valid point. The
There are a
flies
couple
come
chances.
in, they get stuck on the canvas, nice gust of wind, you're going to rip it up. So, we digress.
But he knows the rules.
He apparently does.
No, I've checked into them. I know the rules and the regulations on fishing here, and I'm doing everything legally. So thank you for your concern, though.
Big logger.
Okay, are you a member
I love
of
that.
North
Thank you for your concern.
I live in Simi
Thought he caught
Valley.
a fish.
Okay, so you don't live here and this is private property.
I understand.
Oh, so it is private property.
I do have a visitor pass for the lake
Oh.
because I do have family that lives on the lake.
And we're done.
That are part of Lake Patrol, so I'm
Lake Patrol.
aware
Is
of
that
the rules and regulations here. So
pass.
I don't.
Discuss this at the homeowners meeting.
That's cool.
they're gonna
You
discuss
guys can discuss it all you want. It's a
Okay.
California
Hey.
state
They'll
statute
talk
for
to
fish,
that.
game, and wildlife. So I'm a licensed angler right now. So I'm participating.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
That means he got a fishing
I've heard
license from
because
Cabela's.
of the damage that's
Good job.
done to the
1999.
canvas
Yeah.
tops.
You can get that for the year, buddy.
It's not to be done.
I'm saying that from now on.
Well, if I can
license.
see a
Anything.
rule or regulation on that, then I'll be more than happy to go somewhere else. But
Okay, I'll call somebody and see if
yeah,
they'll come
that's
over.
totally fine.
Okay.
Have a good day.
I don't know
sarcastic.
that this lady
Totally fine.
is a Karen. I mean, what is it? If you see something, say something type of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
she's not. I've seen
But
worse.
that dude is literally just in the middle there, not bothering anyone. And if he's got a pass, I mean, granted, I don't know if I'd be thrilled with it being around the boats, but lady, like that's when you sit in your window and you go,
Yeah.
look at this a-hole.
I'm gonna have to side with Karen on this. I mean, if I'm a boat owner,
You are a bone owner.
you know, I don't want to fly. I'm glad she went out there. I've seen worse. I've seen worse.
I've seen docks where, like, I don't know, kids just pee right in the water off the dock.
This is true.
Or some parents have thrown
But-
up right over the side of the boat right there.
In the overall scheme of things, fishing is one of the most peaceful things.
Is that that one meme?
Nah, it is. We'll have to figure that one out. Fishing is pretty peaceful.
It is.
It's you're minding your own business.
And he's got a visitor pass to be there. It's not private property.
I too can create a visitor pass.
Exactly. But he's a licensed angler.
I'm a licensed podcaster.
Angler.
Oh, okay.
And
All right.
he's got a visitor's pass.
moving on.
This
All
looks
right.
terrible from the get-go.
From the
and it's from
beginning.
the news, so it's got to be good.
Clearly, this guy works out.
This is... He's on the latter part of the name of our show.
All right, so yeah. Well, there's a lot of fat in this one, but anyways, backstory here is man is fined $5,000 by the HOA for trees that are too short. Sounds like my life problem.
$5,000 for short trees.
Short trees. So anyways,
Trees were
let's
about
go
3
into
feet
this
too
story.
short.
Live news report here. 7 years ago. It's still good.
I love these trees.
Just over a year ago, Pat Fitzgerald planted 2 magnolias in front of his Merritt Island
That's a
home,
bush at
the
this
same
point.
kind of trees that line much of the rest of the River Grove subdivision. His homeowners
I
association
gotta stop this here.
What's the...
How else do you plant a tree?
You got,
Does it grow?
You got to get it started, right? They don't just come full size.
I mean, I guess you got to dig them up at that point.
They go from miniature cats, not kittens, and then they're full cats.
The whole growth thing, we're a no on as a HOA.
Okay.
fined him $100 a day until the total reached $5,000.
Okay, so
I have to
hang
take
on.
the two.
So step one, if I get fined $100, like
A day.
I'm finding whoever this is that's trying to impose this and be like,
Really?
hey, they start this small, so you know, they eventually get bigger.
Can we talk about nature?
Unlike your husband. Moving on.
Anyways, let's go back to Pat Fitzgerald here.
Trees up
Poor guy.
in 20 days, and they won't fine me $5,000.
The problem is not the presence of the tree or even the type of tree. This tree, for example, is okay. The problem is the height. The other two
Never been told that.
are too small. River Grove requires its streets to look like this, with evenly spaced magnolias or other trees, all of
Yes,
matching size.
you need to buy a
New
full-size
trees
tree.
are required to be at least 6 feet tall. Fitzgerald's are 2 or 3 feet tall.
Story.
But there
Story
are
of my
areas in
life,
the
dude.
subdivision where
Trying
magnolias
to
aren't
reach 6
doing
foot
well.
my entire life,
Fitzgerald
didn't make
believes
it.
the trees will grow better if they're started smaller, and his 2 small ones are thriving.
I don't think they're bringing down property values here in the neighborhood.
Homeowners Association leaders told me they're only enforcing an agreement Fitzgerald made when he moved in. Both sides say there is no underlying dispute.
Wow. I
An
need
HOA
glasses.
vice president said Fitzgerald wanted to make a tree nursery out of an area controlled by the HOA, and we said no.
So Richard was a no with his little small.
Richard, what a great name for that dude.
Richard seems like a really great guy.
Well, let me tell you,
yeah.
Dick.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Dick Ron over here. In the River Grove HOA, he wanted to make a tree nursery, so he's got jokes.
He does.
He's got jokes. Sounds like a really good guy we're going to hang out with on the weekend.
Probably not.
The Desert Storm military veteran is stunned.
Okay.
I come back to this country
Pause.
after,
Oh.
after that time, and it's funny, I don't have the right to plant a tree in front of my house. It's
Time.
Let's hear
Time
this.
out. I'm a no on that.
You're a no on this. Let's hear
I
it.
was so on Pat's side.
Yeah.
I was so on his side with everything. I'm not a huge fan of the I'm a veteran and I served my country for this long and try to like utilize that as a reason why you should get a pass on something.
Yeah.
Again, I don't agree with what they're doing there, but I don't agree with utilizing that for anything at all. They all bought a house in the same neighborhood. It wasn't a requirement to be a veteran to be there, number one. Number two, they paid you. It was a job you selected. You knew what you were getting into, and you stayed there. Number three, Desert Storm was pretty quick. Like, this wasn't not a lot of losses in Desert Storm from us. So, I was so on Pat's side, and I'm kind of disappointed
And
at
now
the
you're
end
a no.
here. And now I'm a complete no on him, and I'm siding with Dick on this one. To be honest with you,
old Richard.
this is the type of dude that's like, but I'm a veteran. I should be able to drive without a blinker on. No, get out of here, kid. No,
Oh,
now I'm a no.
I like that perspective. So what would the Marine have done? He would have gathered the boys and gone over there and handled business. Silent killers.
Oh, Richard.
Richard would have a different response on the news.
I think I'd
This
pull
guy
some-
does not. Richard does not fear Pat.
No,
Let's
Richard doesn't fear Pat.
Yeah.
I would have done some solid alpha dad moves first in the neighborhood. You know, weighted vest, lawn mowing, you know, some street workouts
Yeah.
maybe.
Leave,
you know,
leave a message in Richard's yard that
maybe
only
just
Richard would know.
stand outside his yard and just look menacingly in his
With your shirt off in the Globe and Anchor.
Yeah,
flag,
and be like,
just waving in the wind.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way you do it.
I like that.
Maybe silkies, like really short shorts.
the older. Yeah.
Marine Corps lingerie.
I was going
if
to
you
call them
will.
Ranger panties, but I know that's a term for you.
That's your sign.
I know.
We do Marine Corps lingerie.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You're welcome.
You do not like the Randy. Let's keep it moving on. All right. So next story that we have here is lady goes on vacation and they boot her cars in her own parkway or driveway. Not a parkway, driveway. That's
Drive in the parkway, you park in the driveway. Move along.
There we go. Here we go. Let's leave it to Larry.
In her own
Leave it to Laren. What a
driveway?
great segment.
It'd be hard to believe, but you heard us right.
And here's Lara now to tell us how it all played out.
It was shaping up to be a happy
Disney.
trip to the happiest place on earth. Until
The fourth day of our vacation, we get a bunch of calls and emails from neighbors sending us
your
pictures
bangs?
that my car has been
too
booted in the driveway.
and not
soon?
just
Comment?
one wheel,
Classy
but
move.
two.
Ooh,
A bright orange sticker
How do
slapped
you
to the window.
boot somebody
It
in
said
a driveway?
why it got booted.
Really, we need two boots.
What's the two-
for-
on the-
I mean, what are we working with here? Like a
That's a front
Kia?
wheel drive. That's a front wheel drive vehicle.
right?
The best part is they put a boot on the back wheels. What was that gonna do?
No, exactly.
So just-
well, that's probably what happened. Is we're
Somebody
like,
was like, "Hey, idiot."
it's front wheel drive, and that's, this mad escape artist is gonna escape
know.
from her
'Cause
HOA
clearly-
booted driveway.
Clearly, if you're driving the Kia,
Why it got booted, at what time, who to call, and how much the fine is, which is $68.
$68.
Not
so
including
not
freight
5,000. Okay.
Christina Trabata is a recent college grad. She tells me
I
she
know.
moved
I will
back
tell
in
you
with her
this:
parents.
$68. Is
lived
it
in
worth the
Pembroke
hassle for
Shores'
all this, or
Sterling
do you just
Place
pay
community for
$68?
nearly 2
Well, as
decades
she says
now.
too.
Well, they
plus
only
credit.
I don't
allow
know.
you to
Okay.
have visitor registration for up to 14 days every
Percent.
month.
They being the
That's
HOA.
highway robbery.
Weeks before
Anyways,
Christina
I'm a done on the car boot thing. I don't know.
I'm a no on that.
I'm a no.
Is it?
Come on,
What was the
HOA.
rules against it?
Apparently, the whole deal was her visitor pass expired while they were on vacation, so they booted her car. There's no grace period.
That's a bit much.
Man, this is a little bit extreme.
And it wasn't like on the street. It's in a driveway
Right.
where you park cars.
100%.
Air day.
Yeah, air day.
Air day.
So we'll move on to the next one.
This looks good with old Dan.
Old Dan. Dan. Anyways, this has nothing to do with Dan, but this takes us to
I do apologize for trying to jump ahead there. My fault.
a gentleman who's got a classic truck. It's got a nice, questionable paint job. He calls it part of the swag. Others do not agree. But the HOA has threatened to foreclose his home if he doesn't get rid of this.
I'm so
A man
interested now.
and his homeowners association could lead to foreclosure, and it centers around this old truck. The showdown
patina.
is happening in Chesterfield. News 4 investigator
No,
Chris
no, that's
Nagin
like a
shows
style.
us why this fight is now headed to court.
People clear coat over that now to keep that look. Ask Richard Rawlings from Gas Monkey Garage.
Loves classic cars.
Hit me
His
up,
Ford
Richard.
F-250 pickup truck runs like a top.
So first off,
I'm-
makes no sense here. Ford F-250 has come a long way.
Sure has.
All right.
Sure has. I don't know if
Enough said.
I don't know if that
Say
was
less.
required.
His
That was-
opinion, it's pretty close to perfect.
When you looked at it, you didn't think, I want to paint this or change this.
Oh, no. I looked at it and thought it's beautiful. The
People
way it
pay
is.
for that.
It reminds me of the
Tell
truck
him, Andy.
that I grew up in with my dad.
Not only does Lipka love the way it drives, he likes this
Why
paint
does he
job.
It's not
Lipka?
damaged.
Like he's like
it's
in
just
the military
way the
and he uses
finish
his
has
last name.
evolved over the years.
His homeowners association
The old
hates
Woodfield
it.
HOA.
So much so, they are suing Lipka. The bylaws state vehicles with moderately severe body damage can't be parked in the driveway. But Lipka
It's a
says
classic
this isn't
truck.
body damage.
It's the original Ford paint from 1965, and it's sought after.
That's
now.
the way it's
Classic
supposed
car
to be. It
enthusiast.
is.
In the car world, it's known as a patina finish.
Boom.
Nailed it.
But don't take Lipka's word
Oh,
for
wait.
it.
This is a vehicle we built a couple years ago.
Noah Alexander owns Classic Car Studio in St. Louis.
You can see the top surfaces get
Third-party
worn
expert.
first.
If he looks familiar,
Speed is the new black.
it's because he's the face of a nationwide reality show shot from his shop.
Meet Noah Alexander.
Alexander knows cars, and he knows trends. Some
this
clients
much was
specifically
research.
request the patina finish.
Maybe there wasn't
Is
a
it
lot
fair
to the
to say
story.
it's becoming more popular?
I think it's very popular right
Well, they
now,
had
and
to
it is
get the
becoming more
expert.
popular.
You know?
But in
I don't know if it
Lipka's
required
case,
that much of a
beauty is in the
backstory.
eye
It's
of
got a
the
good American
beholder
flag
when it
hanging
comes
out
to
there.
Whitfield
I'll
Homes
go with that.
Association in Chesterfield. He parks in his driveway.
Oh, hang on. Hold on. Hold
Do
on.
we see something there?
Oh, that's the Marine Corps flag right there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now, unlike Pat, I am overly on this guy's side. We Marines got to stick together.
Well, 3,000. There it is.
The lawsuit also implicates my house. They want to foreclose on my house.
I'm a no.
I'm gonna say you need to start using them Marine skills, buddy.
He looks like old Lipka. Looks like he's the one that's going to actually. He's going to call the boys.
The next news story is going to be the HOA president disappeared. We don't know. Lipka called his buddies and he was like, "Hey, I need your help."
No one seems to care.
And don't ask me any questions.
The Marine Corps Mafia.
And literally, it's going to be, whose car are we taking?
Yes. All right, moving on. And we are going to take a turn here. So now we've talked about the victims of the HOA. So now let's talk about the guys who took action.
Oh, those are my guys.
HOA.
I'm on board with these guys.
Maybe the Lipkas of the world.
That's what I'm talking about.
Lipkas.
He eventually snapped.
I am a real man.
I guarantee you, Lipka was like, I have a particular set of skills.
Fight for your right for every man. Anyways.
Fight for the right.
I knew you'd get me on the lyrics. It's every time. You can't let me have a win.
Nope.
So anyways.
Let me get away with nothing.
I'm going to let this story speak for itself.
1, 2, 3, go.
Neighbors has come up with a creative revenge plan.
Yeah, I'd say creative, right? Parker Collins right now is live near Buffalo and Alexander to show us what he is doing after being reported to his HOA, Parker.
I think so. So let's look at this guy that they couldn't even put a name graphic on that's doing this interview.
I'm assuming he's the cameraman and the reporter didn't show up.
The excitement on his face right now that says...
He's like, this is my first one. I don't know what to do.
I went to college.
I don't even have a jacket.
And play.
On this car, you can see it's
Parker
pretty dinged up here in the back.
Got
There's
it.
some cracks.
You're judging
in the
too early.
paint.
I was.
The one over here,
It's a red,
Street
white,
Park,
and blue.
isn't much better.
I'm down.
Basically, junk cars over here, and
Honda
that's
Accord.
the point.
Dude,
the guy
those
over
are-
here wants
those
to
are
buy
killer
up
in high
these
school.
kind of cars to
Showing my
make
age.
the neighborhood.
I'm telling you, is
even
that a mullet
worse.
hanging out of
Let's
that
back it
baseball
up.
cap?
This is
I
because
might be on this guy's
after he
side.
moved here in January of 2017, he
this is
said
existing.
since then he's gotten at least half a
little
dozen
carport in the backyard.
citations from the HOA. He
a trailer.
thinks it's neighbors who are reporting him for, he says, small things, weeds,
That's the
carport
muffler
that he
for
built
me,
in the
man.
backyard,
That's
some rust on his fence. He tried talking with his neighbors, but when that broke down, he hatched this creative plan.
If you're going to be like this, then I'm going to give you something to cry about. I said, I'm going to buy a bunch of crappy cars, fill up the neighborhood, and run the neighborhood down.
It's the Fu Manchu for me.
That is, that is a selective. That guy's not like me. Like, this is not a choice. This is all I can.
That's
grow.
the deer take.
That guy has chosen that facial hair feature, and he woke up this morning and chose violence.
He did choose violence.
Nope, he chose violence.
As the video goes on to say, he's invested roughly $5,000 in his junk cars at this point.
That's phenomenal.
I saw at least 3 of them, so he's getting a good deal.
That's money well spent.
I wonder if he's getting them towed there. They don't run.
They don't run. They're like, okay, you can pay to have them towed.
Classic revenge.
So there must be not a rule about parking on the street here, and if you just leave them parked there, and just be like, what?
So here we have guy read the rules.
Yep.
Saw nothing about parking or junk cars or age of cars.
Rivian guy
And
did not
found
read the rules.
The old loophole.
This guy found
loophole. All right, so now we will close up here where this exhaustive battle ends one for America, for the little guy, for the guy going against the government. I'm not saying I'm anti-government, but I am I am leaning anti-HOA.
I was giving you the
weights and stakes in 24. So enough of me. Let's close it here with a great win for America.
HOA Hall of Shame story. It all started with a man's fight and ended in the Nevada Supreme Court. Now the story proves you can fight your homeowners association and win, but at what cost? Good evening, everyone. I'm Todd Quinones.
And I'm Trisha Keene. 13 Chief Investigator Darcy Spears exposes the downside of the David and Goliath battle and why the homeowner says he wouldn't have it any other way.
I like it.
You fought hard for what was right, for truth, justice, and the American way.
Hey, this is Dan, by the way. I pointed that.
Alongside the American flag and...
See, if you start any like triumph video with the American flag, it's
I'm
instant
in.
win. It's
I'm
Rocky
in.
all the way.
I'm already in.
It's in.
The theme's already in my head. I'm not gonna sing it.
I am.
No, that's not. That's not in Rocky. That's not acceptable anymore.
All these things.
Nope.
Patriotic bunting, a banner unfurls across the roofline of Jonathan Friedrich's home.
Somebody finally has to stand up against these HOAs.
All right.
So what's going on here? Because although we haven't disclosed this yet, you have strategically placed the monitor far enough away to where I can't read it.
Well, let's see.
The banner proclaiming the Rancho Bel Air HOA is guilty of fraud.
Ooh.
So this is
Good
my guy, right?
Lord. So that's not a used car dealership. Okay, that is.
This to me
that's a
is
full sign right there.
The most epic way to stick it to the man, right? Like there was.
You got to figure that sign.
Yeah.
$300-400.
Easy. And he put it on his. I don't.
No. That guy did not get up on the ladder. That guy paid to have someone else put that out there.
The only thing that's missing is the prop plane that's tailing the
maybe
flag
flying
behind it,
around.
and I'm sure he probably had them circled.
Very symmetrically placed bunting. Now I know what that word is.
Well, and this is a guy I can relate to. Nice form of advertising, marketing here. I had a incident with a storage facility that did me wrong, and I almost bought a billboard outside the storage facility that said, "This place sucks." So this is kind of what this guy did. And
so
I can
if you have the money
that.
for that, you can't buy a billboard for our podcast?
Well, we're small town America. You can buy a $30 billboard. So let's go buy a billboard.
Let's buy a billboard.
And it won't say Rancho Bel Air Fieldtown.
No, it won't be that. But can you maybe when we do this in production, can you put a light bulb above my head? Ding. I want that so bad. Never mind. Sorry.
Anyways, let's continue here.
Proves Friedrich is not one to shy away from a fight.
When you're right, you're right. It's that simple.
There we go.
In addition to the banner, there are a couple of other new residents in Jonathan Friedrich's front yard. These pink birds.
They're called flamingos. What?
The pink flamingo is an iconic anti-HOA symbol.
So hang on a minute.
I did not realize that.
Hold on a minute.
I did not know that was an iconic anti-HOA.
I just thought that was kind of tacky. I had no idea that was completely against the HOA.
Is that like...
Do you know how many flamingos? I had no idea. I was trying to stick it to the man with my pink flamingo rebellion, rage against the HOA.
That's where we're... Yeah, so I'm going to go buy some flamingos.
I guess so.
And I'm just going to put them in neighborhoods all across America.
I'm just going to place them in other people's.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to put some pineapples upside down in other people's yards and just see
so
what
when
happens.
All these people start knocking up,
see what happens.
Be like, excuse me, are you here for the party?
I'm glad you said here for the party and not the other line. Moving on.
Anyways.
Friedrich's battle to prove he's not part of the guard-gated HOA he lives in has lasted nearly 6 years and cost him more than $300,000.
This guy's got money.
Outrageous.
He does not care.
This was a simple dispute.
He doesn't care.
Are you or aren't you in the HOA?
So, is the value of being right worth that?
If I got that much money, I'm that small. I'll fight.
I love it.
I'm that small.
This is America.
That it?
All the way around.
Yeah.
All the way around.
I love it.
Now, this is where it gets...
Oh,
now,
there's another curve?
Well, now we're going to back in time here. And
I can tell by the bulb TV, the tube TV that they're showing here.
Like, let's not knock their animation from 2017. But wait
From dollars to donuts, his stories got both. Here's how we explained it when we first covered it in 2016.
This is a donut hole, but so are Jonathan Friedrich and his home, according to court documents. That makes the HOA the donut and the hole simply.
This has got to be the worst thing I've seen on TV. And I saw the Super Bowl where they showed Janet Jackson's.
This is what news reporting has become. And you know what? The camera guy was like, hey, what was her name?
Yeah.
Hey,
it is Doris.
If you can talk about the donut hole, which quite frankly is not the hole.
No, it's actually not.
I'll put the donut in.
Completely lame, but I'm going to go with it just because I don't want to lose my job. Doris has pull at the station, and I don't want to get kicked off the clearly. I'm trying to work my way up past this stupid HOA freaking story.
Here we go.
Action news.
And
within Rancho Bel Air, there's a dividing line. One Friedrich literally painted down the middle of his street at his property line.
Love it.
The community is made up of 2 units developed at different times, and Friedrich
Here's phase
followed
one,
a
phase two.
decades-old paper trail to find proof that homeowners like him in Unit 1 were never officially part
I came
of
to
the
win.
HOA.
I don't mean that's a sin.
The documents proved I was right.
But he didn't know it at first because the developer for Unit 2 sent all homeowners a letter telling them they were part of the HOA. Friedrich paid in good faith until he found out the letter wasn't
Hang on a minute.
official.
He didn't even know he wasn't a part of the HOA, and he's been paying in the HOA? So he's already paid into this, and on top of his HOA fees that he wasn't supposed to pay, he's $300,000 into this lawsuit?
Can't hide money.
No.
They lied to me at my closing. My title company screwed me.
Aggressive language for old 13 News.
They did anything but.
When he stopped.
So I just got to make the comment.
Yeah.
New presidential candidate, he fits the bill.
Stopped paying the
I think once again,
$200 monthly
we don't need
assessments.
anyone of this
They
age.
sent him a foreclosure notice.
Who's
they
this?
Said,
It's
if
gotta
you
be
don't
his
pay
lawyer,
our
right?
assessments,
Yeah.
we're going to foreclose on you. And he said, basically, in a pig's eye.
You ever heard that phrase?
Basically in a pig's eye. Snappy comeback.
He took the case to trial
Well, good
and
old Lady
won, but
Justice
the
up there.
HOA appealed to the state Supreme Court.
That they get a God complex, that everybody has to do exactly what they say, no matter what.
We are not one of the
back to the
Gestapo
TV.
associations that you read about.
That
Clearly
was-
you are.
Clearly. But went to the Supreme Court and he won.
That's insane.
And the HOA fought it and he won again.
Oh.
You know.
So he doesn't have to pay HOA fees. Does
But
that
he,
mean...
But he did pay.
Wait a minute, because if the HOA lost, does that mean everybody else has to pay those fees? By the way, if you come on there and say you're not a Gestapo HOA, you're a Gestapo
You're
HOA.
a Gestapo HOA.
You are completely a Gestapo HOA.
That's a pretty good point. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the reaction of the wild and crazy HOA. I'm still not a fan of the HOA.
I'm 80% fan.
I'm even less now.
No, sorry, I'm 20% fan.
There it is. There it is. Well, anyways, you know the drill. Hopefully you liked it, and maybe you'll like our video and subscribe. You didn't let me do
Again.
it. The cream.
No, absolutely no.
And we're out.
Sound of the bell.